The pilot episode of Aida is more than just the opening of a Spanish sitcom. It is a social microcosm wrapped in humor and despair. It begins with a tone of exhaustion, with Aida returning to her old neighborhood after her divorce, 2 children in tow, and no clear plan for what comes next. The first impression the episode gives is one of claustrophobia. The apartments are small, the walls echo with gossip, and the streets are filled with noise that feels both alive and oppressive. This chaotic environment is not just background decoration, it is a reflection of the inner chaos Aida carries with her. The way she drags her suitcase up the stairs feels symbolic, as though she is pulling her own history, her failures, and her sense of shame back into the place she once tried to leave behind. The pilot immediately establishes that the humor of Aida is not meant to comfort, but to reveal. Laughter is an act of survival here. Every character, from the lazy but endearing Chema to the eternally cynical Mauricio, seems to live on the edge of desperation. When Aida sits down in the local bar for the first time, her conversation is light, but her face reveals the exhaustion of a woman who has been defeated too many times to keep pretending. The dialogue is rapid, sharp, and grounded in realism. There is no glamour in this world, only irony. Even the children seem to have inherited the same sense of hopeless wit, especially Lorena, whose biting sarcasm hides her insecurity and fear of repeating her mother's fate. What makes the pilot so compelling is the balance between comedy and pain. Aida's return home is not portrayed as a triumphant comeback, but as a reluctant surrender. She is humiliated by her circumstances, yet the show never allows her to become a victim. Her resilience lies in her ability to laugh, to confront the absurdity of her life with stubborn dignity. The scenes in her mother Eugenia's apartment, cluttered with old furniture and memories, show how the past is never really gone. Eugenia, with her self-centered remarks and nostalgic illusions, represents a generation that refuses to adapt. The clash between mother and daughter is both tragic and comical, revealing how the cycle of poverty and disappointment passes from one generation to the next, disguised as family tradition. One of the most memorable sequences in the pilot is the argument between Aida and her brother Luisma. Their banter is chaotic, filled with insults that are strangely affectionate. Luisma, a former drug addict with the mind of a child, becomes a mirror to Aida's frustration. His ridiculous optimism contrasts sharply with her disillusionment, yet it also provides the only real tenderness in her life. Their bond is messy but sincere, a reminder that love in this world does not come in pure or polished forms. As the episode progresses, the rhythm of the neighborhood becomes clearer. The bar is the social center, a stage for human absurdity. The shopkeeper Chema stands behind his counter, like a philosopher trapped in a comedy of errors, listening to everyone's problems but unable to fix his own. Each minor character contributes to a sense of urban melancholy wrapped in laughter. The cinematography is unremarkable in a technical sense, but that is precisely what makes it powerful. The handheld camera movements, the imperfect lighting, and the grayish color palette capture the texture of working-class life. The pilot never romanticizes poverty. Instead, it observes it with brutal honesty and unexpected tenderness. There is a small but telling moment when Aida looks out the window after putting her children to bed. She does not cry, nor does she smile. She simply stares, suspended between fatigue and determination. It is in that silence that the show's entire spirit resides. Aida is not about success or transformation. It is about endurance. The humor is the armor that shields the characters from despair. What makes the pilot unforgettable is how it dares to blend the ridiculous with the real. Every laugh comes with an aftertaste of truth. Watching it, I was reminded of my own childhood neighborhoods, where gossip was currency and kindness came in rough shapes. There is something universally human about the way Aida portrays failure not as a tragedy, but as a way of life. It teaches us that sometimes the only way to survive is to keep joking even when nothing is funny anymore.